Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Jonathan, and welcome back to the Pack Talk. In this video, we're going to go over the updates of the crazy 53-man roster cut that happened the other day. As of August 31st, I'm making this video. Which, before I keep on going with the series I'm doing now, I wanted to, provide some updates. That way, update previous teams I already covered and then future teams going forward that I haven't yet covered. But might as well get these out of the way. I mean, there's going to be more moves to come, more trades. This is technically, this is kind of the start of free agency, in my opinion, as the season rolls around here, along with a 53-man roster. These are all the notable things that happened on August 30th of 2022 and to begin the NFL season, and we're just going to roll right into it right now. So to lead off yesterday, it was reported that Jimmy Garoppolo is going to stay in San Francisco on a one-year deal, I think worth $6.5 million guaranteed. And he's set to be, the most expensive backup in the league now with that deal. It's going to be very interesting to see how all that plays out. Trey Lance is, he's very enthusiastic that he's back because Jimmy G was very supportive of him when he came to San Francisco when he was drafted, the draft before. And he took him under his wing, and, Jimmy G seems like a good guy. The San Francisco 49ers just feel like this is Trey Lance's team, and they can get the utmost potential with Trey Lance at the helm at quarterback. Next, we're going to move on to the Lions now. I tried to cover as many teams as I could, and the most notable, I guess, around the league moves that I need to cover. The Lions cut both David Blau and Tim Boyle as their quarterbacks. So right now, Jared Goff is the lone quarterback. As of today, I think, or this morning, actually, he's not the lone quarterback. My bad. They signed Nate Sudfeld from the Eagles. Which, I mean, that's not really that big of an upgrade from David Blau. They are going to put David Blau back on the practice squad, but it's not really much of an upgrade. In my opinion, they're the same quarterback. The Lions also cut Justin Jackson and their kicker, Riley Patterson. So Cyber is going to get the starting kicking job. That's it on the Lions that I saw. Marlon Mack was let go in Houston. So it's now just Dameon Pierce and Rex Burkhead, and this basically clears the way that Dameon Pierce will be the running back one. In my video yesterday, I did say that Lovie Smith was kind of on the fence on Dameon Pierce actually starting for the Texans, but this definitely clears way for him to be the running back one. Alex Leatherwood was cut in Las Vegas, which just keeps on adding to the line of first-round picks that the Raiders have failed to punch in. Moving on to Baltimore. Baltimore is kind of lengthy here. It was reported that Lamar Jackson is going to stay true on what he said throughout this whole offseason, that he will end contract talks on his rookie deal once the season begins. I don't know how that's going to affect him. I saw he liked a tweet that he'd look good in a Miami Dolphins uniform. People can speculate on that. I feel like he's just very bothered about why contract talks have gone to this length with Lamar Jackson. Like I said, I think with this team, in my video about the Ravens, if Lamar Jackson's healthy and he's playing the whole season, this whole defense stays healthy, they are seeing AFC Championship, if not Super Bowl aspirations, for sure, this season with the Ravens. Also coming out of the Ravens, they're expected to land Kenyon Drake at running back, since Gus Edwards is going to start on the PUP list. Disturbing news out of Buffalo. I'm sure everybody's heard that Matt Araiza, the punter, the punt god, got cut for his allegations into sexual misconduct, which is very unfortunate to hear. And uh, you know, those type of people just need to be put in jail, to be honest, if those allegations are true. He already admitted to having encounters with the 17-year-old, so that's just bad enough as is. But moving on, they also cut OJ Howard. The Bengals are expected to bring him in and, you know, uh, start him, since they did cut Thaddeus Moss from their team. Um, Moving on, Sony Michel was cut in Miami, which was kind of a surprise. I think Sony Michel's a pretty good running back too, for sure, on any team. So he was cut by Miami. The Chargers picked it up today, I think, and they're probably gonna assign him. He's gonna be, you know, a pretty vital force on the Chargers that are already loaded, and we're gonna, you know, we haven't covered most of these teams, but we're gonna get into them. And thank God this is updated to the best of my ability, so when I do start making the team overview videos again, it'll be more cleared up for me. Josh Rosen was let go in Cleveland. Honestly, I think that's a poor guy, that quarterback that never really got his shot in the NFL, and surprised that people just keep cutting him and don't let him start, especially with Cleveland letting him go. You know, Jacoby Brissett, he's a decent backup quarterback, but why not mess around with a former first-round pick? See what he still maybe has in store. Laviska Shenault was traded to the Panthers from the Jags. That's a good pickup for the Panthers, in my opinion. Just keeps on adding to their wide receiver depth for Baker Mayfield. Another duo quarterback cut in Dallas. The Cowboys cut both Cooper Rush and Ben DiNucci. And I'm not hearing their plans to move forward on that. I don't know if they actually have a fourth quarter. They did have a fourth quarterback, but they cut both Cooper Rush and Ben DiNucci. So right now, Dak Prescott's like the only quarterback, I think. The Commanders named Brian Robinson the running back one. They cut Jarrett Patterson. Jarrett Patterson, you know, he played some games, had some good games, but don't really need him in that running back room, which makes a very interesting case for Antonio Gibson, which they were working out kick return. So for fantasy purposes, stay away from Antonio Gibson. And thank God Washington, you know, way down the list, so updated that for me, and I won't put him in my top 3 fantasy when we get to that video. Out of the Vikings, they cut Kellen Mond at quarterback. Not really good backup at all. I guess out of the Packers, the only notable thing is that they're going to let go of Tyler Goodson, which was kind of a surprise coming out of the Green Bay community, because he did show some pretty good flashes this preseason. The Buccaneers released veteran Logan Ryan. He's getting up there in age, so, you know, make room for younger talent, I guess. The Eagles traded for cornerback Chauncey Gardner-Johnson from the Saints, which people are making a huge deal out of. I mean, he's a pretty good corner, I guess, and the Eagles love to have him. The Eagles are really looking good. I think they can win the NFC East with the team they had before, and even now they're adding more depth. This team is going to be very fun to watch, I think, especially with Jalen Hurts coming into a new season, second year under the new head coach, and, you know, we'll see how that playbook expands. The only thing out of the Bears is they cut Nathan Peterman. I don't even know why Nathan Peterman is still in the league, to be honest. He is by far the worst backup in this league. He should not have a job. The Cardinals waived Trace McSorley. The Colts released Philip Lindsay. And finally, the Saints released Ian Book. But I also heard the Eagles also swooped in on the Saints again and are going to pick them up. I think those are all the moves for now. I did hear, I guess if there's any news coming out of the Steelers that's notable, is that Najee Harris should be fine. I saw he had a foot sprainer of some sort, and, you know, he's going to be ready for week 1. Okay, guys, thanks for tuning in. That's all the free agency / 53-man roster updates throughout teams. I covered about close to 20 teams there that were worth mentioning for updates on my previous videos and for future videos as I continue this this team overview series. Okay, thanks guys for tuning in. See you guys in the next one.